Good morning.
Hi, come on in.
About yesterday, I recall.
Taggart let Jason and Xander out. All I had to do was drop your name.
Impressive,
Yeah.
I think.
Maybe you're spending too much time at the police station.
Maybe. What's going on?
Nothing. You know what? Taggart's acting up, and it's not. I shouldn't even have called.
Why don't you tell me what's going on?
Nothing. Nothing.
And you're lying. You're in trouble, aren't you?
Alexis decides to practice law really isn't any of my business, and she would kill me if she knew that I called you, but...
Is she having a problem in Port Charles? I understand she's been doing some criminal work.
My husband is an ordinary businessman. There happens to be a cop here who has hated him since childhood, and so he has decided to make his life miserable.
Then your husband is...
Sonny Corinthos. Didn't I mention that? I mean, not that it makes any difference.
Would Alexis be bringing him along as a client?
You know, you would have to ask Alexis, but I don't see why she would. My husband doesn't really need any special treatment, but, you know, the Quartermains, they're a different story.
Is she still working with them?
Yeah, occasionally. You know, Alexis really could bring in some terrific clients.
Alexis hasn't mentioned that I offer her job back at least once a month.
You know how private Alexis is. That just drives me nuts.
She'd already be back at the firm, but frankly, we just can't touch the kind of money she's bringing in.
And that's the only problem?
As far as I know. How about we stay in touch, and if anything changes, then I'll just...
No, Alexis, she needs help now.
Look, it's really been a pleasure meeting you, but if I hurry, I can catch the shuttle.
No, there has got to be something we can do.
There's no more trouble than usual.
I already know this is serious, so why do you keep denying it?
Taggart has a grudge against Jason.
And now you're deflecting. Aren't we a little past that?
Yeah, we are. But, you know, we're friends, and I don't have very many. But, you know, no one has to know everything about my business.
You don't have to tell me the details.
Well, being my friend has already cost you way too much.
I'll deal with it.
That's the thing, you shouldn't have to.
Boy, by the way you're dodging this must really be bad.
No, it's no problem. Understood that there are areas of my business that don't involve you.
So that's where the trouble is.
We agreed that I wouldn't ask you to do something that you believed is wrong.
And I won't do it. But I can listen.
Well, I appreciate that.
So talk.
Nothing's going on, no trouble. Nothing that would concern you.
I understand.
Thanks for coming by.
Fine.
Look, if salary is a problem, don't let it be.
Well, Alexis has gotten very expensive.
Well, would you consider a finder's fee?
Meaning?
What if I toss in 100 grand?
Look, I don't mean to be untoward, but if this money is coming from Mr. Corinthos...
Okay, let's just call it a retainer fee and leave it at that. All right, I wasn't going to mention this, but, you should know that Alexis is fresh out of a disastrous relationship with a married man. She was obsessed with the guy. She practically stalked him, and then she created this whole fantasy life in her head that the two of them would be together forever. It's humiliating for her. And she needs to get a fresh start, and I want to help her.
By paying part of her salary?
Alexis loved working in Manhattan and living there and working for your company. She's a total cash cow. She's going to bring in twice that amount in the next 6 months.
I must admit it's a very good offer.
Sonny wants Alexis to be happy almost as much as I do. So do we have a deal?
Well, if the funding is in place...
You will have your money within the hour.
Then we have a deal.
Thank you.
Alexis Davis.
Les Owen, as in Nelson Clark and Owen, 3rd Avenue.
Les, how are you?
Can you make your way over to the Port Charles Grill?
Is that where you are?
I may have an offer that will interest you.
I'll be right there.
She's on her way.
Wonderful. I just wired 100 grand into your account. What you tell your firm is up to you.
It's a great deal of cash for an individual to have their hands on.
If you mean, did I get it from my husband, the answer is no. But I am assuming that this transaction is just between us.
Certainly.
You won't tell Alexis that we spoke.
Not a word. The firm will be so glad to have her back, no one will ask many questions.
Do your stuff.
Alexis, wonderful to see you.
Same here. Is it safe to assume that you're offering me my old job back?
Will you consider it?
One quick question. Why now?
Several clients have been asking for you.
Yeah, but that's been going on for years.
Well, you know how persistent I can be.
I'm not saying that I'll take the job, but you should know that I'm pregnant, and I would require medical insurance from day one and a very generous amount of maternity leave.
I'm sure we can work something out.
So there's money.
Would you consider your old salary plus 50%?
So how did the firm get so rich all of a sudden? The stock market is down. Most law firms are cutting back.
We just landed a major retainer, and we want you. What else do you need?
You throw in a corner office,
No problem.
but I'm yours.
Welcome back.